Hello, YouTube. It's Sunday, December 12th, 4:30 p.m. Yeah, I am just so tired and groggy this afternoon. At one point, I lied down in bed. I don't even remember what for. I started listening to a video. Now I can't even remember what the heck it was I was listening to. I remember now. It's a Larry Elder analysis of the O.J. Simpson verdict. What a weird thing to go back and revisit. Anyway, yeah, I probably fell asleep within minutes of that video starting because I was just so groggy, and I just woke up and I've been feeling kind of out of it since. But I gosh, what was I gonna cover here? So I did the party last night. I couldn't have been more wrong about everything I thought it was going to be. So for starters, I completely mistook VJ's accent. I don't know why he sounded Indian on the phone to me. Mind you, I really didn't talk to him very long, and I probably couldn't hear him very well. Oh, look at this. The box is still here, but now it's actually obstructing the alley. And it's turned on its side. You know, if I still had a house with a garage, I would probably be hauling that stupid thing home with me for no good reason. Yeah, it's official. I'm a hoarder. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know why. I mean, he's got an accent, and I don't think I've ever misjudged an accent that wrong before, ever, that I can think of. But definitely Hispanic and older than I thought. I would say I'd say he's probably just a little younger than myself. But anyway, and as far as like what kind of Hispanic, I couldn't even say, because there's, yeah. So, oh, Mexican. No, probably not Mexican. In fact, I got a couple of friends, one who's Colombian and another who's Venezuelan, and both have, well, actually, the Venezuela he has a pretty strong accent, and people sometimes mistake his accent. And the other guy doesn't have an accent at all. I think he spent most of his life in California. Anyway, moving on from that. Yeah, so I'm just, I get in there, and I'm really, as I mentioned on my video that I shot, before I didn't really know what to expect, and I was just glad to be earning, glad to have some work for a change, and earning some decent money for a change, because God knows my financial situation has just been awful for months. So I get in there, I start setting up, and I immediately notice that it's just like I'm surrounded by like just this huge family type group. I mean, lots of little kids running around. Well, not lots, but I mean little kids running around, teenagers, and there's some elderly people there, and I'm thinking this is going to be like a big family gathering. Wow, wasn't expecting that, and sure as heck it was. Which is not a problem. I mean, at this point, I feel like I've done pretty much every kind of DJing imaginable. And while this is not what I expected, I mean, it was no problem to kind of roll with the changes, and they absolutely loved everything about what I did. The house was way nicer than I expected. It was pretty freaking fabulous, and they had, I want to say, like an 85-inch TV wall mounted above on a mantle above a fireplace, and with with two HDMI ports that were like readily accessible. So I had no problem just running a long HDMI cord to it, which I've got one that I usually keep over at Bullock's, and I brought that one with me. And ended up, I don't know, I get the feeling that the guy they probably got before probably brought like had like a table that he brought in and he set his stuff up on, or maybe he had his stuff, mounted in a rack that he rolled in from a truck or something. And yeah, I don't have that. And I just told him I just needed, asked if they had a small table or something to set up on. And they ended up giving me a little end table, which is less space than I normally set up on, but I managed to just make it absolutely perfect. And I sat on like an easy chair, and basically, excuse me, I put my monitor on it, put my Mackie mixer on it, put my Elise's Nanoverb digital effects processor on it, and mouse, and then I ended up putting the keyboard just on the arm of the easy chair, just because it had such a large arm on it, which at first seemed awkward. Then after a while, it's like actually this works really well, since there wasn't enough room, on the little tiny end table for the keyboard. I started hooking up by connecting to the TV, because if there's anything I'm going to have issues with, it's trying to get my video card to recognize a strange TV, which it recognized no problem. It did its usual thing, which of course I was not thinking it was going to do, and I should have fully expected it to do. Windows, when it detects both monitors, it always seems to, anytime I hook up a TV that I've never connected to before, it always seems to just assume that is a better quality monitor than my 1280 by 1040 control screen monitor, and it always defaults that to the main monitor. And so of course I had to log in on their TV, which is not a problem. And but then kind of, again, it blows my mind that Windows does this, and I've never found a setting to stop Windows from doing this. What it ends up doing is taking all my very specifically laid out icons on my desktop, and it just bunches them all on the left side. It puts them in alphabetical order or something equally useless to me, of the TV, and then it always, of course, boots to the TV's native resolution, which to be honest is probably a 4K TV, but I should say the native resolution, or the highest resolution, close that my video card could do, which is, I think it was 1080p. Anyway, yeah, it boots on, I think, 1080p with all my icons shoved to the left. I'm like, oh, yeah, this routine again. And again, I should have just expected that, but for some reason, like every time that happens, it just seems to take me by surprise. And at that, anyway, at this point, I'm like, okay, got it working, and I just quickly changed the resolution to 720p, switch the other monitor, hit the checkbox to designate it as the primary monitor, and then align the screens the way they need to be for my show to work the way I'm used to it working, and reset it. At this point, my icons are all jumbled up, but yeah, other than that, everything's like it should be. And my stomach hurts a little bit. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, everything working more or less how it's supposed to be, and now my stomach's starting to hurt a little bit more now. Yikes. Oh gosh, I'm tired. Sorry, I'm not making a whole lot of sense here. Anyway, I get all the icons how they're supposed to look, and sorry, I just kind of left the icons just jumbled up, but I the background looking like it's supposed to work and whatnot. And at this point, I noticed there's just more people starting to show up. And mind you, they said to start around 6, and it's probably only about 5 40 at this time. Ruth was running a little bit late. And, as all things, just it doesn't take a whole lot when you're a little bit late to turn into a little bit more late. I guess I can't really complain too terrible about that. Hey, she got me there, and I didn't have a lot of options, so, much thanks for that. And honestly, I think I only showed up about 11 minutes late, so not a big deal. But, it was probably about, the time it took to get everything in the house, because it had a pretty long walkway, from where we were able to unload to where the stuff went. I think it was probably, that's probably about 5:30. I noticed there's, people already kind of showing up, and so rather than mess with my icons, I just immediately went to getting my speakers set up and getting audio run to them, and just getting it to where I can play music. Obviously we're not jumping into karaoke right away, so at this point the important thing was just being able to have some music playing. And oh, hey, there's my finger. Wow, and that totally threw off the focus. Yeah, I've noticed some of my videos every now and then, at some point it just goes crazy out of focus, and I wonder if that's like what causes it. It's me inadvertently covering up the finger, because it's awkward to hold the phone to get normal horizontal video shot, and occasionally my finger dips into the camera. Yeah, I never noticed it until right there. The camera trying to focus on my finger and then not regaining focus. Anyway, yeah. So I set the speakers up quite a ways, and I found a really good location for them. And I'm dipping it in the viewfinder again. This is the camera I seem to have the most struggle with blocking the camera. I'm trying to just look at the other side of the thing and figure out like where my fingers land when I'm holding it like this and where the camera is. I need to not block. I will get better at doing this. By the way, shooting on the NUU phone, iPhone is just about on a dead battery, so I just figured to leave it at home on this journey. I'm on a journey to Ace Hardware to try to get some kind of replacement wheel for my Samson speakers. They had wheels on them, they're really, really heavy. And, all this time I honestly thought that the weight, they've got a battery charging system in it. And I always assumed that they probably had these internal lead acid batteries, and that was massively contributing to the weight. And I took the time to do some research on them today to find out that the battery pack is an optional thing that had to be purchased separately. Mine do not have the battery packs. Those battery packs are now next to impossible to find, and it looks like when retailers last sold them, they sold for about $150 each. So, kind of disappointed. I was honestly expecting that I would find internal lead acid batteries. I was expecting something to look like small motorcycle batteries, and that they would be somewhat inexpensive to replace and possibly replaceable with a more modern battery technology, and I ended up being wrong on all counts. So I did put a search in eBay for the battery pack that I'm lacking, and I'm not really holding out to find any soon. The only one I actually found on sale was somebody selling a nearly identical speaker. And selling one, not a pair, by the way. Selling one nearly identical speaker. And much like mine, he says it had one wheel that was messed up. Mine has all 4 wheels messed up, 2 on each speaker. And also said they had the battery pack, but that the battery was dead and did not hold a charge. So I kind of expect, due to the age and how long they've been out of production, I expect they've probably been out of production for around, 8 years, give or take. I expect any of them that are out there that are going to be for sale are probably going to be dead, and I don't even expect that a lot of that's going to happen, because I don't think it will occur to many people that there's any value in trying to sell a dead battery. That noted, I would love to find a pair of dead ones. and I definitely need a pair. Just having one is not of much use to me, because it's a very proprietary battery pack, with probably a control unit, battery management, unit inside of it, and a proprietary cable that connects to a little port that I never noticed because it was underneath a special little shield on the bottom of the speaker. And yeah, in order for me to my best chance of getting working battery packs for the things is going to be to find a pair of dead ones and then rebuild them with new new batteries on the inside, which, yeah, that's a project I really want to do that probably is not going to be done anytime soon, because difficult to do thing, probably pricey parts, that all starts with very hard to find parts, but hey, I did find out the model number for the battery pack, and I put an ongoing search in eBay for them. So if any pop up on eBay, I'll get a notice. And at this point, as long as they've been out of production, that's the place I figure I'm most likely to find them. Interestingly enough, I did find somebody on Alibaba selling the next model speaker up from the one I have, complete with a new. These were new, so apparently Chinese overstock. Complete with a battery pack on it, new one, and that's another thing. I've learned a lot about my speakers today. They also have a cavity in the top where you can remove a cover, and I noticed the cover. I never really thought anything about it, but underneath that cover, there's a spot where you can mount a wireless receiver. It seems the original wireless receivers for them were sold with wireless transmitters, and they operate on UHF, much like, say, a wireless, guitar unit, or or like how wireless microphones work. The one being sold on Alibaba was a unit to fit in that same spot, use the same connector that uses Bluetooth, which for the average person is more useful. I mean, obviously, if I was going to use it, I'd want to be using the UHF, not Bluetooth. But anyway, interesting to know. I didn't even know those were an option with my speakers. So, yeah, pretty educational day with the speakers, although I haven't really accomplished shit. They're still in the way in my kitchen, and I still need a way to move them to my storage. I pretty much determined there's no way in hell I'm going to get that done on the bus without them having wheels on them, because they are really heavy. And that weight is, honestly, the magnets and speakers. I pulled the amplifier apart, and it's certainly not the way to be. Well, then again, there is a heat sink on the side, and that's got some heft to it. But at any rate, these things are freaking heavy, and all along my thoughts that weight was due to a battery was wrong. They're just heavy-ass speakers. Anyway, that's one of the broken wheels, looks like, right there. You can kind of see there is sort of a wheel there. There needs to be, that doesn't stick out far enough from the frame of the speaker for it to be useful. That is the inner part of the wheel. There was an external part of that wrapped around it, but I want to say it was probably about, I don't know, added about another half inch of thickness to it. So like enough space to, you can see where the remnants of the inner part of the wheel is there, and the full wheel went just about to that metal frame, which is what bolts it to the speaker. Yikes, big girl screaming. Wow, those 4 big girls filled that car, holy crap. Yeah, that outer part of the wheel is just disintegrated, probably within the first year and a half of me owning them. And I could tell they were kind of going when I bought them. I don't know if there's going to be any kind of replacement available for them. But if there's any place that's likely to have something that'll fit or made to fit, I figure it's the Ace Hardware up at 32nd Street in Indian School. I got a feeling that I should probably wrap this up and actually check online to see. I got a feeling they might close at 5 since it's Sunday. I might just be straight up wasting time right now. Anyway, I'm going to sit down, look that up, look at this, but yeah, I got to figure out how to get those damn things to my storage, or get some other stuff out of my storage at my apartment. I don't know, honestly, I'd rather have it over there than the other storage. Well, another one of those things is things I want to do, and I'm just heavily being impacted by the lack of a vehicle. But I don't know. Hopefully I can get that handled soon. Or to be more honest, hopefully Rob can get that handled soon. Anyway, thanks for watching. Oh, and the party. It was, like I said, it was a family group. Yeah, by probably about 5:45, I was playing family-friendly Christmas music videos, because I have loads of those. And anyway, I could explain everything I did there, and probably be boring as shit to y'all, but needless to say, they were very extremely happy. They paid me 50% more than what they had agreed to pay me, just because it was just so happy with what I had done. And definitely I'm tentatively booked for next year to do the same event, and he definitely said that he would recommend me to anybody he knew that was looking for a DJ, particularly a karaoke DJ. So yeah, pretty exciting. Anyway, thanks for coming with me. I was going to talk about how I'm missing a vlog that should have been posted last night. I guess I'll mention that on the next one, and it certainly will be in the description of the video that precedes. So as always, check my descriptions of my videos. Sometimes I add a little bit of information, or I'll correct some factual information that I notice is wrong in my statements. And if nothing else, the original date and time is there. So thanks for watching. There's my bus.